So did you guys hear that they're canceling Mardi Gras in Thibodaux?
What?
Thibodaux, Louisiana, Mardi Gras is officially canceled. It came out in the Daily Comment today.
This year or last year?
No, this coming year, 2021. We could try and cancel the future, but we can only cancel the past.
I tried that a few times.
I think Professor X once said that.
You look at more and more like Professor X every day.
I know, man. I'm gone. I was so inspired by the 16-bit picnic interview we had with all the baldness going on. I just went straight to the skin. I mean, I've been balding since I was probably like 28 years old anyway for the last 10 years. I said, fuck it. Let's just succumb to it.
Yeah.
See, personally, I thought you were trying to like rock a Bruce Willis look, where it's more by choice than habit. So
it's not that well thought out, man.
No.
It's just easier to maintain.
I mean, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It is.
But you find it odd that Lafourche Parish is saying no to the whole Mardi Gras thing right now, but Terrebonne Parish is saying fuck it, they're still going to do it.
Well, that's kind of like just how it looks with COVID in the first place.
Well, it's like, isn't that where the
Yeah,
money's
I
at,
guess
to
you're
be
right.
honest with you?
Huh?
Isn't that where the money's at?
In COVID?
The money's in the oil field.
COVID
yeah.
for sure isn't. They got a lot of money in COVID.
I'm just happy that New Orleans is just still saying yes to swinger parties. So
Thank God for that,
Yeah.
man.
Good for them.
So that beautiful voice that
Roll that beautiful
Who
beat
is
footage.
that? Who's that guy?
this is Mr. T-Dave.
hey,
Welcome to the show, David LeBlanc.
thank you. Now, for real, I really appreciate y'all inviting me here. It's been a little while in the making, but
Yeah,
finally.
man. We've been planning to have you on for a little minute, and I'm happy to see you here. It makes a big emptiness filled inside my heart.
When you are
Thank God you clarified the organ of your body.
when you're super involved in your community and you are super involved in your business, scheduling is tough sometimes, but we're glad you're here. And let me ask something. When we reached out to you, did you even know who the Rebellion was?
No, so, I mean, I knew Tyler forever.
Yeah.
Well, kind of forever. Like,
Halfway forever.
high school-ish.
Halfway forever.
Actually, like, it was more or less you did your metal, Feed the Machine.
Yeah, my first band.
Yeah, your first band.
Feed the Machine? Was it like a Rage Against the Machine ripoff?
You don't know how many times I actually had to answer that question, so
Is that
I just
what people
started
thought it
saying,
was?
Yeah. No, Feed the Machine was like the first band that I really tried to do something with, and dude, this was like 15 years ago.
If you guys haven't heard old Tyler's music, go on us on what's that app you're on?
The internet.
Yeah, the internet. But what's that?
SoundCloud?
SoundCloud. Go to SoundCloud.
Or you could just listen to our episodes, all the music that comes out of
But
them.
really go listen to his good banjo music that he has on there.
Yeah, I've been practicing. But yeah, the first
Feed the
band,
Machine.
which, yes, this was like 2005, 6,
Yeah.
something like that. And I was just getting out of school and starting up in college and stuff. And we were making our rounds. We were trying to do some stuff. And it was in the heavier realm, like it was like metalcore, hardcore scene stuff.
Right.
But it was before that.
Where'd y'all play?
A lot of New Orleans, but we also
Okay.
played at South Lafourche.
At the school?
Yeah, it was before
So
that.
y'all both
scene
went to
blew up.
South then?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that
We
shit.
were cool
Fucking tarpons.
after I left South Lafourche.
Yeah, I was actually trying to think about that the other day. Like, when
At what point?
happened? Yeah, because it just kind of happened, sort of. Like, I couldn't think of, like, the actual times where, like, oh, this new guy's here that I also know is really good at guitar. Like, I couldn't. Was it when for me and Andre's band?
Sons of the South, right?
Yeah,
So what do you play?
I play drums.
Okay, awesome.
Animal!
Yeah, T-Dave's all about them skins.
That's a t-shirt, man. That's a fucking t-shirt. T-Dave dressed up as animal. They're going down.
But yeah, dude, this is way back, and as the bayou goes, I'm pretty sure there was a girl in between at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. You know,
But I think what was that really did it is whenever y'all started Sons of the South, and I was playing in Tata Destroyers, and we booked a few shows together, and I will not forget that night where we played at, what was that bar on the back road?
The
Pit Stop. We had a show with you guys at the Pit Stop.
The Pit Stop was a bar room with, live music. I think it was a kitchen, and it was a mechanic shop
and a tire center.
But I think they had like an adult bookstore in there too. Yeah,
they did.
They did a lot.
Yeah, and then they had like a church right across the road.
Correct.
So yeah, that is.
So if you needed to buy porn and then go repent for it, it was really close.
Yeah.
It was a blessed establishment.
It was, and look, it was so blessed that y'all remember like the last pandemic, the swine flu.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been for our show. They had a stripper pole in the pit stop, and
right.
You have to touch the stripper pole when you're there. So
is it for like good luck or something?
You just
like
have to.
like a horseshoe?
No, it's just because you have to.
What about like a horseshoe?
You remember Showtime at the Apollo? They had to rub the log, that kind of thing.
So
you're drawn to it like the monolith.
Yeah, I ended up getting the swine flu, and I am 1,000%. I know it was from the stripper pole.
Flu, Jesus.
Stripper sludge on the stripper pole gave Dave LeBlanc swine flu. You heard it right here on the
At
Dank
least
Swamp
they get like crabs, chlamydia, got the herpes,
H1N1.
or is that like due to the swinger parties in New Orleans later in life?
It's funny because similar things happened to Phil. He's had mad cow disease about 5 or 6 times. Most of it's from pool parties.
Exactly.
Tomato.
Yeah.
I mean, same shit. It was truly a pit stop.
Yeah.
You had every right to name it that. Yeah. And we had a really cool show there, and I'll never forget because y'all were playing, and I was just hyped that, all my buddies are in this really cool band. They were a much heavier band than we were. They were like Southern fried metal, and we were ska, reggae, punk. So it worked in the sense that
it was music.
I like bands like that because those bands always attracted a certain kind of skank crowd. And the same thing, remember Southern Whiskey Rebellion back in the day?
Yeah, we played with them.
Dude, if you go see those guys, so I've probably seen that band before, but I did a lot of coke and Molly and shit. So
you
I don't remember a lot.
Might have seen something like that.
I probably have, dude. Every time I've talked to Dave or been around him, I'm like, man, I know you from somewhere.
Yeah, because we played. You worked at the City Club.
Yeah,
we played there twice. One time with Southern Whiskey Rebellion, and one time with Blower Motor.
Yes. Okay. That dude. Now it's all coming together. It's all coming together.
One of those shows was really good, and one of them was
the Southern Whiskey one was awesome.
Okay, so I guess it was the Blower Motor one that was horrible, and I think that might have been our last show.
It may have been because, like I said, that they drew a certain kind of skank, and not just chicks, like dudes too. It was a certain I don't know, man. It's just a really trashy vibe. And I remember certain people would come in and like, oh, let's go see this band, and then they would walk in and they would feel the vibe and they would leave. And I could tell and I just fit right into that nasty shit vibe.
You could smell it in the air.
Absolutely.
Like the shit is clinging to the air.
It's like if a rotten skin tag was a person.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's rude.
That's racist.
What?
So yeah, me and T-Dave go back, man. Yeah. And it's always like we've always been in each other's lane for shit, but not doing exactly what each other's doing. So it's always really mutually beneficial to, keep continuing and progressing with each other.
The crossing of paths over and over is fucking cool.
And there's been years where sometimes, like, dude, you have a whole family and we've, went years without being close, but as soon as like we do touch base, it's like instantly like picking up. Yeah. And I love that shit.
Yeah, and that's also like one big thing I think that is like particular to down here.
It is.
Or it might just be our friend group. I don't know. But I think it's pretty much just down here. Like everybody talks about like the Cajun culture and family and stuff like that. Dude, really, like I can go without seeing somebody for years, and when you see them again, you're just pumped to see them.
Yeah,
it's not like, hey, where
there's
were
no,
you, asshole?
There's
like,
no
it's-
animosity.
Yeah.
Life goes on, and then it's cool to catch up.
Yeah.
Usually, you can't get that two ways, I guess.
Yeah. Well, in other places that I went to, I haven't been a crazy amount of places, but like Hawaii was cool.
How was the meth in Hawaii? Because Dog the Bounty Hunter said it was fucking phenomenal.
That's on his island.
With a mullet like that, like it's kind of like mullet grade,
Yeah, but I know you said like you've traveled around a lot, and I really haven't been to another place like down here. Other
There's
places. Canada was all right. Like Canada was cool. Canada was beautiful.
Did I not say that?
That's exactly.
Yeah, Canada was like that is the prettiest place on earth.
You also proved it, which we'll get into that later.
You know what really sucks about places like Canada and upstate New York and Vermont and those types of places is that the inundated people that are fucking shitheads, really real shitheads, ruin that place, and it makes people who are somewhat conservative not want to vacation there, and I hate that because you can't help what nature has put living in that area. So why discriminate against Mother Nature? One of the places on my bucket list is to go to see Niagara Falls. I just want to see it, and the reason being is because I don't care about all the assholes that live in that fucking state and how many people are living because it's a crooked state. I still want to see it because that's the beauty of our nation.
Yeah.
And I tell a lot of people all the time, they want to go. I want to go over. Yeah, if you have the chance to go overseas, fine, whatever, that's great. But our nation has so many wonders in our own country, and I feel like we should try and move that money back through our own society instead of bringing it abroad.
I can't agree with you more, and that's why I discriminate.
And that's why Phil's ass is going to Germany for 2 fucking weeks next year.
Well,
Fucking liberals, man.
And this is why I am discriminatory towards whites. So.
That's right, dude. I feel the same way. I will not buy weed from a white person. I will not trust a white person.
Well, look, couldn't you argue and say the nation's beauty is in the assholes that you're talking about?
It is
gorgeous asshole if you want to put it like that.
Absolutely.
It's like a bouquet of flowers just
I'm
growing out of
looking at 3 of them
Canuck's
right
ass
now.
or something.
You must be looking at a mirror, my man. But you're absolutely right. I feel like the Cajun culture is the strongest in that. That's something that never has gone away. Other cultures, they've let their kids and the younger generation soften up to where they're not passing on tradition. They're just kind of letting them do their own thing. But Cajun culture just won't die. It is what it is, and the brotherhood in that is crazy, man. Because like I've said before, I can go down to the island in Grand Isle and Cheniere and Fouchon and Leeville, anywhere in Galian, and walk into a place that is homegrown owned, and I walk into that place. Bro, you from the bayou? Not from any other bayou, from Bayou Lafourche. And they know we have a certain accent. We have a certain, and you can tell. Terrebonne Parish people know that you're from Terrebonne Parish. Jefferson Parish, they know you from Jefferson Parish, and that's in the blood. That's in our culture. That's in the fact that Rattlesnake Dre talked about it when he was on the show that the Cajun people will never starve because we will always potluck, we will always pool our resources, and we'll always survive no matter what's going on in the country. And we just got to keep that rolling. We got to teach our kids that shit.
Yeah, and there's always an excuse for a party too, like hurricane parties,
8 o'clock in the morning party.
8 o'clock in the morning parties, dude. Funeral parties, like for real.
Carol
like,
Basson's getting voted off of the dance contest thing.
Well, bro, like a big thing. Like I remember vividly, like my great grandma passed away. Bro, the family got together, threw down, cooked. Like we partied. Yeah, like
it celebrated that life through it.
And that might be something that's done everywhere else, but I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, we do that up north too. It's like a payday for us on Friday. We cash in that check after we bury someone.
We also talking about a man that said as a kid they put oranges in the stockings. That still blows my fucking mind,
I
bro.
can see that. I mean, that's first edition, limited edition oranges. You can't get that every time.
And if you have a stingy ass relative,
sun kiss. Can you believe that?
if you have a stingy ass relative, they'll put the orange in a pair of socks too.
Oh.
So you would have to eat the orange before you can try on the socks as well, which is always a pain in the ass.
I thought you were going to say you have to eat the socks before you get to the orange.
No, we're not savages.
Wait, dude, your uncle sends you porn, and
You know what? Like the Cajun, community where we're trying to pass on that tradition, of strength and community. Up north.
so wait, are you saying that you're an honorary Cajun now?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that up north we have a tradition of sharing porn with each other's fucked up relatives.
Oh, really?
And
I've never come across that.
so
it's a fun tidbit.
Uncle
Cajuns
porn.
don't do that.
No.
No matter how many times this segment comes across our ears, it still always makes me feel uncomfortable.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Uncle Porn reached out to me. He's like, "What the fuck is your show called again?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not my show. It's a collective. It's
He
called."
subscribes and unsubscribes to us every week.
And it helps our numbers too because he immediately re-downloads everything too, so it helps with our numbers. He's like, "Hey, I want to get into the porno business. Can you teach me how to edit?" I'm like, "I don't want to edit what you did, but I'll show you how to video edit."
He's like, I made this video with your cousin.
Let's see you teach a man to fish. Andre was the front man of Dave's band.
Yes.
So they were in the same band together. And I remember him climbing the fucking rafters of the pit stop while doing his vocal performance. And I think that's what stuck in my head.
Vocal performance.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because
He wasn't a vocalist. No.
well, no, it worked for us.
Yeah,
it worked great for us.
It was great for y'all.
But dude, Andre is literally the craziest dude that I know. Probably.
He's a front man.
Yeah. One of the best stories about him being Andre. We were playing at the Howlin' Wolf in New Orleans.
Yeah, love that place.
And dude, it was packed. Okay. And we're playing, we're doing our thing, whatever. The crowd's awesome. Well, when you see Andre stop and like kind of think, you know something's probably gonna go wrong. So like I looked at the right, and he's all the way like on the right side of the stage, and I just see him looking over like to the left, and all of a sudden he takes off in a sprint. And our bass player is in like the Samoa stance, like getting low. And Andre
Samoa is like a sumo wrestler almost.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I'm not saying that's just the position he was in.
Default fat
he was
man, ready to go.
Yeah,
He was
like,
readiness.
he was down. He was low.
He was spry.
Well, Andre full sprint jumps on his back and then jumps up in the middle of a song. But you can tell like that's as far as he thought, because once he was in the air, he just kind of went like upside down sort of and landed straight on his back on stage. And all you hear in the mic is like that's all you hear. I'm
too old for this shit.
I just wanted to hear the bass drop when he did that and just like go into the solo at that point till he recovers. Like a 20-minute long recovery solo just to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, no, he never missed a beat after that though. Like he'll get up and like he's done. Like
he times everything with the impact of his spine to the stage almost.
yeah,
That's a showman.
yeah. He was the front man that you want in a group like that. Like, oh, you want people to fight in your audience?
Yeah, his
Okay,
energy is crazy, dude. Like, he walked into work a while back, and he came talk to me and shit, and just talking to him, I was amped after he left.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Every time I've ever seen him or had any interaction, I'm just amped out.
That's that vibe he gives off. And he was perfect for what y'all did.
He's got that natural cocaine.
It's probably from being electrocuted.
Yes, yeah.
That's badass.
And dying twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his dick being broken twice. Something like that.
So this guy is he gets shot out into space. He's at the space station, right? and he's like looking out the window at Earth, and he sees the beauty and majestic of the big blue ball in front of him. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 lights come, and they kind of pull together, and they hover there for a minute, and they're all in formation. And then another light comes, a 4th one, and meets up with them, and they're all in formation. And then they disappear. What do you think it was?
Drones.
Drones in space?
Drones in space.
We got a DJ out, fam, bro, an orbit, bam. I'm not talking about that gum that's on that fucking stupid commercial they call that.
Just Take 5?
Yeah, Take 5, the gum.
Oh. So, okay, my guess would be brake lights.
Brake lights in space. So you think it was one of those things to where you're out in the desert and you see a city off in the distance where the lights are fracting off and you see some type of aurora?
A mirage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
my guess.
3 lights and 1 light,
Yeah.
and then it leaves.
Yeah.
Space pirate orbs. Is this a riddle?
How does,
is there a right
nobody
answer?
say aliens?
Is this a
You know, like
How does nobody think it's UFOs?
because our guest is such a cat person, I would imagine him to say something like some dick had a laser pointer shining out the window or something.
Why does nobody say UFOs? He thought it was UFOs.
Because UFOs are the answer to all of our other shows.
You asked me what I thought it was, though.
Yeah.
You fucked up the joke.
Yeah, seriously.
It wasn't a joke.
You fucked
This
up.
is real. Guys on the space station, he sees this. He thinks it's a UFO. Now, all of a sudden, the British Space Agency says, just so y'all know, all it was leaking urine from a Russian pod.
I believe that because they're still dumping.
So four piss drops in space that made a formation in frozen space was mistaken as a UFO.
You know, I disagree with that whole
Wouldn't it-
urine spot. I really think it's like a space station exhausting some skeeter, and it's just frozen jizz.
Can you imagine, like, the Russians, they're like, ooh, and then they pull the lever, and then the turds just fly out in space.
Oh, I'm not saying
and
jizz,
then the
I'm not-
Americans are like, dude, look at those fucking UFOs, man.
Well,
They're
technically they
Russian shits are perfectly like frisbee shaped.
Frisbee shape.
It's kind of like whenever
Russians be shitting pancakes.
Well, when, they say you don't take a shit in Russia, the shit takes you. And UFOs, by definition...
Was that in Rocky?
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies. If he shits, he shits.
By definition is an unidentified flying object, which would mean that these space shits
Or unidentified.
are UFOs.
But they were identified because they said it was Russian piss.
So it was a UFO until it was identified.
So automatically my mind goes to this. If piss is leaking out of a space capsule, how safe is that space capsule? It's supposed to be pressurized, man.
Well, like during
If the piss can get out, what can get in?
Well, like here's the thing about that. During back in the days of Gemini and Apollo missions, instead of storing and bagging waste material, they would literally genocide it out in space, so it won't take up any room. That's all it is. There's like literally a nozzle, kind of like a sprinkler system in buildings, like expelling out shit and urine from the space station.
So you mean to tell me that movie with
Joe Dirt?
Yes.
It's a space peanut.
You got a big old hunk of frozen poopy right there.
Oh, dude,
you were eating off of that.
Just like the guy with the 65-pound testicle from way back in the gown.
Yeah, exactly.
Rest in peace, Wesley.
Damn, name drop.
Well, did y'all see, like, there was a Middle Eastern defense secretary that said, like, yeah, UFOs are real, and
Yes.
yeah.
They're also
That came out recently.
Yeah, I seen it on Reddit, so it has to be
Oh,
pretty
it's
recent.
just
kinda
It was trending.
Yeah.
You can't dispute Reddit,
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah, but
It's
like,
true.
It was on like 6 subreddits, so I mean,
Oh,
it has to be
okay,
right.
so-
It's got some cloud.
So they
Upvoted.
leaked a UFO Pentagon photo It actually looks like a shark fin, man. It's so fucking crazy.
So no rudders, no lateral controls. It's just a giant fin.
It's a giant fin.
Nice.
It's like it's a Fonzie jump the shark fin in space, just trucking along. So they got this thing on radar, and this is the first time that the intelligence agency is actually saying it could be alien, and they use the word alien.
Whoa.
Are you ready for this, man?
No.
There's not enough lithium in the world to have you ready.
Last time I heard the federal government ever used the word alien is when they captured Alien Gonzalez and sent his ass back to Cuba.
This is the U.S. Intelligence Committee said it could actually be alien because they cannot. The movements were so erratic and how fast it was. I mean, they were tracking a giant bus-sized pill that went 60 miles in 3 seconds off the coast of California just a couple years ago. They leaked that footage. When you watch how fast that thing flew off a radar sideways, there's nothing that's going to make me believe that we're alone in this universe.
That was filmed like from other jets?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't like that.
Well,
I'm not cool with that.
all I'm
Of
saying
course
is,
you're not cool with that.
I'm not good with that.
well, they only have a couple of days left in 2020, so they need to put that shit out there. 'Cause let's just do everything this year and
Cap it off.
Yeah,
Cap it off.
I did see something with that recently where, it's the end of the year. And we're almost halfway through December already. And by the time this comes out, we're going to be further along. That it's going to literally show off this giant being that Cell from Dragon Ball Z is going to show up from the future to absorb the androids this year. And
Don't sell us like that. That is some bullshit. Do not do that to us.
Let it happen, man.
Fuck that,
I would
man.
Let it take you. Remember when Halen was on the show and he said, "I'm ready for the Matrix. Just plug me the fuck in and never let me wake up." He's woke. He's ready. His mind is conditioned to be plugged into the machine.
If I was on the type of drugs that boy was taking, I'd be conditioned and ready too.
well, get ready.
like, what do y'all think would legitimately happen if, like, the world just be like, hey, yeah, there's aliens.
Here's aliens now.
I think I've been saying we're ready for it because with all of the CGI in video games and movies, I feel like we've desensitized the nation. You got people now, a lot of these people that are so-called patriotic soldiers that shoot up churches and do all these crazy right-wing conservative type things. I feel it's because they are desensitized because of Call of Duty and all this shit. Because Dre was right. That's another thing he said is that in video games today, the storyline is so real. And now these motherfuckers, you watch these TikTok videos, they are completely dressed out in camo. They have all this you could buy all that shit at an army surplus store, arm yourself, and then hit the street. And that's what they're doing. But
Like,
fuck them, man.
I think people would really freak out, but I'm more curious of, like, we would still be like, hey, fuck that country, let's bomb them. I don't care if ET's watching us. I still hate that guy. Like, you think there'd still be like turmoil? Like,
I think there's going to be a lot of different factors at play if that becomes a reality. That one, we're going to instantly try and capitalize on because that's how we run shit.
well, I think that would happen before it's even brought out to us.
We would never know.
Yeah.
The biggest world
Right.
power will crumble, and that is religion.
Yeah.
Because if aliens do exist, then every part of religion, across the board, every denomination of it will crumble because it proves them wrong.
Well, the Bible's on 1.6 right now, and that would just jump it to 2.0, right?
Yeah.
You gotta get the updated
You
software.
need to get 3.1, man.
Yeah, but Earth, they meant the universe.
But getting back to the style of music that y'all used to play, could you believe that with COVID going on right now, that there is another disease that is killing people in one of the greatest countries besides America in the world, in India, and it is because of heavy metal poisoning?
Is it let into water supply? Wait for it.
There are heavy metal contents in the water supply, and it's killing people.
You should
That's
cue in
pretty-
the applause there.
That's pretty metal.
It's pretty heavy, dude.
Like you
Think
could probably
about
call
that.
it death metal at that point.
Yeah, I think you can.
Think about if some of that Arabian death metal that you used to listen to as a kid or whatever it was is over there just blaring in the street, just killing people.
Well, look, dude. Okay, so what would be better to die from heavy metal poisoning within the water supply, or to learn English from the Dank Swamp Rebellion?
Both are happening, so
Is there a correlation?
I mean, what kind of heavy metal's in this water?
Yeah.
No.
What type of heavy
Yeah.
metal? Yeah.
it's India. They don't fucking know.
It's
Is it?
probably lead, mercury.
I mean, Cannibal Corpse?
They have Freddie Mercury in this fucking
Freddie
water,
Mercury's
man.
in the water.
Is
India.
it
It's
like?
turning everybody debilitatingly gay.
Is it Man of War? You know, like the loudest
Dude,
recorded.
I'm gonna blast them when I'm
Shit
on my way
ever.
home now.
Yeah. The highest decibel bullshit ever.
They have the highest decibel count for any live
But
show.
India's got a lot of cool shit going on. They actually found an ancient civilization that was underwater, 9,500-year-old underwater civilization, lost city. They're going to be able to actually get about $16 to $17 worth of gold out of it, which is really cool. You know, they got a lot going for them.
Is it Atlantis?
No, not cool enough for Atlantis. This is a guy.
It's a word that's one of those type words.
That's
I don't know.
That's a $17 word.
It is.
Yeah.
But so we just want to say thank you, India, once again for listening. We love you guys, man. Even though Phil hates you guys,
He says it a lot.
Yeah,
He
fuck
does.
India.
Phil doesn't represent the whole entire thing.
yeah, and
It's just-
fuck Canada except for the one guy. We want to stand by that.
Yeah. If we want to grow more, that'd be cool. But, you know, the one's good.
One's always.
We need to start hitting up
One's the
Halifax and Nova
loneliest
Scotia.
number.
The one
That
is...
that's another thing. Let's talk about that song, right? Three Dog Night. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
3 Dog Night?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what are you doing?
One
Yeah.
is
What are you
the
doing with those
loneliest
three
number
dogs?
that you ever do. What are you doing?
Hey, stand up and do a one real quick.
Yeah, I'm doing it, Bab. I'm doing a one step. You ever had that? You do a fucking one-legged wedding. You gotta do one step in solidarity. You go there.
I thought that was called the worm.
That's what solidarity means, one.
One?
Yeah.
Oh, see, we're all
It's
good.
solidarity.
Yeah, but do a solidarity.
I am right
Is
now.
that like pinching a loaf or something?
I just ate some jambalaya. I'm working on it. Give me a minute. Okay, look. So if one is the loneliest number that you've ever done, I understand that. But if you're doing, that means you're presently doing that one. And you could only be... There's adjacent ones. Excuse me.
Everybody poops. Everybody farts.
Excuse me.
But then he goes into two can be as bad as one, but the loneliest number is the number one. So how is it that two can be worse than one?
Because you can be with someone you hate. Not to go deep and depressing or anything.
Well,
Ignore that page. That's for a later segment. Take your two eyes off my screen.
Yeah, but those two pussies were talking to each other.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on. We got like you said. Wow, that was surprisingly tame for an Uncle Porn skit.
Yeah.
No, that's later. That's later.
thank God.
Welcome to the duel of the talking pussies on the Dank Swamp Rebellion.
Almost spit tanked all over your $5,000 MacBook machine, which is about to be what happens to
Which
this
says a
chick
lot
right
about
here.
Tyler, because if he's willing to spit your way,
Spit tank?
Take.
Spit.
Oh, I was thinking like Shark Tank, but spit tank.
Speaking of Shark Tank, did y'all see that old famous anus Cookies was on there? The old black guy? Yeah, he was on there.
On Shark Tank?
Apparently, yeah, recently. Kelly and I were at a hotel somewhere recently and Shark Tank was on, and he was on there dressed in the Hawaiian shirt and like the hat and all.
Yeah.
And apparently he's broke as shit because he was really good at making cookies, but really shit at business. And he even told him that. He's like, I didn't know how to run a business. So apparently years ago, he sold the company and his likeness, everything, all of it, and has had nothing to do with it for over 30 years and has been broke.
So famous anus, someone owns him?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now he's trying to sell cookies called Big Kahuna cookies, which is a good cookie, they say, but it's only sold in Walmarts in Hawaii. So how many of those do you think they have?
Big Kahuna cookies?
Depends on
Big Kahuna cookies. And they all turned them down.
Well, if they would take the fucking raisins out of the oatmeal cookies, it'd probably do pretty good.
And put some choco chips in there with some pecans.
Fucking idiot. Run his
Does that
business.
irk your nerves when you hear an asshole say
Yes.
pecan?
Yeah.
There you go. There's one.
That's a big pecan right there.
Pecan.
Oh, not like that. That's too much of a southern drawl. That's like some Mississippi, Alabama shit right there.
He
Try-
says pecan.
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 yeah, Alabama, Georgia, the same fucking place. No big deal.
So, what do you got queued up right here, man?
So, so Uncle Porn just sent me another one of his masterpieces with audio that we can use, and the setup is
You don't say
organic
that part.
flossing.
You don't say that part out loud.
What?
Yeah, you don't say that part out
You
loud.
don't say the setup.
After 50 episodes now, Phil still doesn't know how to do a show.
So, I know how to present Uncle Porn's material. So let's hit the play button.
It looked like the Okay, we're gonna set it up.
It's like when you stick your thumb in the end of a hose pipe to make it spray
bad,
harder.
huh?
Yeah. When you ain't got the hose pipe.
It's a work in progress.
Top
Yeah.
part.
Yeah,
You don't
top
have the
part.
gun.
Yeah, the gun.
The gun part.
Chick's eating another chick's twat, and they dub in scenes to where the Hoover Dam is breaking right when she's about to squirt. But my thing is this, is that the pressure from that squirt into the other girl's face was pretty solid.
I'm pretty sure she has herpes of the
Exponential.
eyes.
That PSI.
You could tell. It was probably like, you ever been in the boat and it's raining a little bit and it feels like them little pricks all over your skin? It probably felt like that to the face. Also, why was it so milky looking?
That's a,
Yeast infection?
my big question
Question mark?
was, what was the blue gacky looking shit that was coming
Dripping out? Yeah, no telling.
What was that?
It was actual gack.
From the 90s?
Yeah.
Holy
the
shit.
thing that would make a little queefs whenever you put it in
Yeah,
the
it's kind of like it's kind of like Silly Putty's retarded cousin.
So wait, you weren't supposed to eat that?
Hi, Phil's mom.
There's a sixth state.
That was not edible?
No. Or editable.
Well, I did, so
Okay.
I did eat
You
it.
ate the gag,
so
dude?
it is edible. You can eat
It
it.
is if you try hard enough.
You
Go
c-
for it, man.
You can
Kudos
eat
for
it.
your determination.
Well, I thought it would taste like it looked.
So, what does green taste
What
like,
is that?
or blue taste like, or
It
purple
tastes
taste
like purple.
It tastes like.
Like if Jolly Ranchers and Slimer fucked. That's what it would taste like.
Like here's Bill Murray going, "He's slime."
Pretty
man."
much any girl south of the intercourse, though.
Oh, I feel like I need to take a tetanus shot now after that. Oh my god.
Well, that's a pretty high PSI.
Oh yeah, she's a pressure washer
Man.
by day.
Uncle Porn, you really do stay on point, my friend. Congrats to you. Is Uncle Porn cousin Dad?
No, he's not.
Do they talk?
Not as often as he talks to me because I'm the cool one of the family, I guess.
You're the cool one of the family?
Sadly true.
Bet.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Come on.
Don't want to meet your family.
Belligerent Phil's.
Y'all hearing this, Way Gantz? That Phil is leading the pack. There is no success rate
no. This
of
is my
your
mom's
genealogy survival.
No, this is my mom's side, so not the dad's side whatsoever.
So they're all clinically insane.
Dad's side, yes, because apparently my dad and I are the black sheep of the family because we are libertarian conservatives, and his side, rest of his side of the family are fucking communist. So yeah.
Well, if you've been a long-time listener to the show, a while back we talked about Japanese wrestling and how amazing that is and how it changed our lives, and we're still super fans of Japanese wrestling. But I'm like I say, I'm more and more of a fan of Japan. Okay, and as I find out more about Japan, I look at news in Japan, and I just wonder about what's going on. I don't know why. I think the noodles do it for me. If I eat yakisoba, I want to Google Japan.
You feel like it's in there, yeah.
So this week I've eaten yakisoba. Once again, I've Googled Japan. And they had the 6 weirdest things that you can buy in a vending machine in Japan.
Oh, I know
besides
this.
dirty panties.
None of which will surprise me, but go ahead.
So the first one's not so weird because if anybody has watched Food Network and you've seen any of the cooking competitions, like Chopped or one of those things, there's always they throw in canned bread and they always freak out. All it is a round loaf of nasty bread.
Kind of like a can of yams or some shit like that for Thanksgiving.
But it's lame. But there's like a little Polly Pocket looking Japanese chef on the front, and he's holding a little piece of bread, loaf, whatever.
Yeah, it looks tight up.
It's super dense. It looks like a very hard piece of bread. The second most bought thing in a Japanese vending machine are giant dung beetles.
Nice.
It's a delicacy.
Well, like the same thing is in Vietnam, the delicacy over there is also snails. So again, it does not surprise me.
Well, you got to think about it this way. I just look at it this way. As a coon ass, we know that if you leave hardhead catfish in your crab traps for one too many days, that the crabs that are eating that hardhead will start to taste rancid like that hardhead. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to leave your crabs in there too long. Same thing with a pogie fish because of all the fish oils in there. What do you think the inside of a dung beetle tastes like? It's been sucking out poo juice out of a big old ball of poo.
I could say the same thing about bottom feeders like crawfish and shrimp.
The dung beetles are like, it's just original flavor. Like, it's not even.
These are not Domino flavor.
Yeah, there's no like Cool Ranch
or like a Pringles variety pack or anything.
Tiger Tater flavor.
Like Dippets.
No zaps. None of that.
No ranch, no blue cheese.
I've watched them eat them before. They pop the bottom of the shell off, and there's like this orange goo in the back part of it, and they just kind of suck it. You know,
like sucking the head.
Pretty much. Yeah. It looks like whenever old ladies eat artichokes and they
I was gonna say baby food, but that's a better example.
They gotta scrape all that meat out the inside. This one's kind of lame. Floral arrangements. They actually have vending machines with full floral arrangements. Number 4 is hot hamburgers.
Okay.
So you walk up to a machine and you press which burger you want, and there's a little freeze-dried, homogenized, dehydrated burger in there, and it adds hot water to it, and it plumps it up, and then it shoots it out of a chute for you.
Like Back to the Future.
Exactly.
Good burger.
Hydrate to level 4, please.
But not so good burger. They say they're disgusting, but they only cost 23 yen, which is about a penny, I guess, for our money.
No, it's 23 cents.
23 cents, yeah.
Fresh groceries and umbrellas. Apparently, it rains so much there's an umbrella.
Well, it's like if you watch it.
The tsunami's coming, they're all lining up for umbrellas.
Well, it's like if you watch any old school.
Make a wall. Make a wall.
That makes perfect sense because if you remember,
Hold the line.
hold the line. That makes perfect sense because if you ever watch any Japanese-based TV shows like old school Power Rangers, Beetleborgs,
Saved by the Bell.
like Saved by the Bell, like they always shoot their exterior scenes during typhoon season, so it makes sense that they have a vending machine for umbrellas because their footage is always a little bit darker than what we have here in the States because we're blessed.
Fun fact.
Yeah, there you go.
Really neat.
Oh, Sakimoras, come for me.
Well, the whole culture itself is there's so many people in a small square radius that vending machine or gachapons is like those little egg machines.
Oh, yeah, I love those. Yeah, exactly.
There's a machine for everything that you need for your life in a vending machine over there. So if you need a Rolex, real quick, you could rent one out from one of these machines before your big Japanese business.
It's crazy because Netflix made a series about how those machines work, and there is one that actually spits out iPads, and it only takes about 5 minutes. Inside of one of those machines, there's 19 young children inside of that machine
They're
making
all
that
compact.
iPad on the spot. And you know what I find is even more amazing? It's funded by Disney.
Aww.
Yeah, they just got like another year on my subscription, so yeah, kudos to Disney Plus and the rest of them.
Talk about made to order, huh?
I'm telling you.
That's nice.
They probably even have one for mail order brides.
They make them inside the machine.
So
Yeah,
you
the
know
residents
how
are
here in
robot bride.
America, mail order brides, they are real. I mean, I see it all the time. I see really old cats with really hot young Thai girls that come in sometimes. But so
Girls.
yeah. So it's always going to be the exotic type women in America. So do you think in Japan or in India they're just like flooding the market with like white chicks?
Because white girls ain't trying to go to Japan.
Are you sure?
I promise.
Like, dude, I mean, no
Besides
offense.
your weebs.
Well, no offense to anything, but like, it seems like American white chicks are just like base model.
Yeah, you are right.
And
So
I mean,
so basically, American white chicks are essentially the Ford Pinto.
The Chevy
Well, no,
Equinox.
not even like, you ever seen Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
That's like the fucking Skyline, which is exotic, but before they do
The mods.
the mods to it.
So
you know?
basically,
like, hey, you're still a Skyline. You're just not.
a perfectly
Standout
proportioned
one.
woman
It's pretty much
before
breaks down to
cosmetic surgery.
It breaks it down to this.
The S model.
No, okay.
You have an American white woman, and then you have a Swedish white woman.
Dude,
And it's done.
No,
You understand?
Like here's a little fun factoid for you. If you ever travel overseas, and if you are in any type of sports team, regardless, it could be like handball, it can be t-ball, it can be anything ridiculous. As long as you're in an American-based sports team and you go over to Sweden, you are guaranteed to get laid.
So when you travel abroad, is that what you pretend you are?
That's
Exactly. I already got
yeah.
my Team USA.
What do you say that you are? I want to hear this.
Professional bouncer.
Oh, shit.
And they know what that is?
They're about to be bounced.
When he says traveling abroad, it's a little different.
That means he picked up a hooker.
Now, there's pros and cons to both of this because, like you said, you have an American white woman and then you have a Swedish white woman. One's more exotic to you, but one requires a lot more maintenance than you can
Right.
provide for it.
I mean,
Like-
but I mean, in Sweden, the American woman's the same. In a way,
like one requires a green card, the other does not. So you gotta.
I'm not certified to work on Swedish stuff. I'm just saying. I have never done it. I don't have the experience, and I don't know anyone else who does either.
Or anything German made or
No,
Russian made or Japanese made.
That's difficult to find. That costs a lot more money. I mean, it costs $750 to do an oil change in a fucking Jaguars.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Well,
Just think
like,
what it costs them doing an oil change on a young Thai girl.
It's about $750. But yeah, it's true. And old T-Dave over here too is also a really gifted photographerist, right? That's the professional title.
yeah, photographerist.
Nice.
Is,
Emphasize on the ist.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the key.
So you pretty much take pictures then, man. You like kids' birthday parties and shit like that?
Gravon's like, I got a birthday coming up. You want to take pictures of me?
Yeah, there's gonna be a party. I'm pretty much the only one there.
Gravon, I'd love to take pictures of you, bro. Anytime.
I'm gonna get all Chris going up there, girl, that. Give me some lard, there, girl, that.
Gravon's gonna pose up like Burt Reynolds on a bearskin rug.
Yeah, man. You better correct yourself, man. On a gator skin rug, man.
On an oyster bed.
Yeah, I could do it too. How do you do it? I sleep on
Fresh chucked oyster bed.
So tell
the
us
porn is Posturepedic, man.
So tell us a little bit about your journey.
My journey has just reached the top of the mountain.
This is it.
This is it.
I'm glad this is what the pinnacle of your existence is, man, because Gravon knows what that feels like.
Apparently, you've been in the bayou for too long because this is like a fucking anthill if this is the top of the mountain.
Hey, they got a lot of big old ants.
Man, you're just above sea level right now.
By 1 foot if you're lucky.
We're breaking through.
No, I take pictures right now as like I say it's a second job, but
It's the passion project.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
How many Pinot pictures have you taken?
I'm glad you bring. I'm glad you bring that up because
We got an expert here. Okay.
I'm actually coming on this podcast for one reason and one reason only.
To promote your Pinot pics.
Yes,
Awesome.
I want to do fashion dick pic pictures. Call me over, and I can just
Okay, you had me at fashion and dick pics, so explain the setup here. Like, are we talking about, like, what wardrobe and what season are we talking about? What kind of accessories?
You got
are we
little
dealing
costumes, little hats and stuff like that, little helmets.
with? Or capes or something?
You could do a Drew Brees. You could do John Bell Edwards. You could do that. You could do Letitia Camber, whatever the mayor is.
The Cajun Cannon.
Yeah, Cajun Cannon, Letitia Camber, whoever that is. Yeah, you can make it look like Bobby Hebert or whatever his name is.
Yeah, really, it depends on the person you're going after.
Yeah.
So
It probably depends on what holiday it is. Put a little wreath around your head.
So, like if it's Mardi Gras, I'm assuming like a jester's mask on the tip of the dick or something, or okay.
have some beads,
Oh,
bit
okay.
of glitter. It's all in the accessories.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
This
No.
never yet.
So I want to
It's
ask.
about to. But I don't think anybody's ever done
Shit's
this
about to
yet.
take
So
off.
yeah, that's why I want to do this.
You want to get right ahead of the curve.
On the
You would
subject
say that you're ahead of the game.
Oh, yeah, low hanging fruit you got there. Since you are a professional photographer, by the way, and you want to do these professional seasonal dick pics, I think it's safe to assume that everything's gonna be well lit, well composited, and everything as well too. So
It's gonna be fucking lit.
it's gonna be fucking lit.
Don't worry about that film.
Well, it depends what mood you're going after too.
Right.
I mean, you want some drama in it? We're going to turn the lights down.
So essentially, in terms of color theory and lighting, so we're not only talking about hue, but also saturation.
Color theory is kind of out the window with this. You got what you got.
Well, that's just racist then.
So you heard it here, folks, right here, first and foremost on the Dank Swamp Rebellion. Now we're doing a 12-month calendar of dicks. If you want to send your dick pics to audition to Dave LeBlanc at gmail.com and forward that to Phil Wiggett. It's PCP3D1 Sam at Gmail. Send that over. They're gonna analyze them. They're gonna look it up and they're gonna zoom in, Bab. They're gonna check out the scrot. You gotta have you got a scrot that's hanging a little too much on one side. Looks like I had a fucking stroke or something. Or if you got one in peanuts that look like a snort, where you can pick up peanuts off the table and shove it in your own ass, you might as well not even submit, Bab, because that's not what we're looking for. We only look for big, pristine, triumphant
son of bitches.
That look like a fucking rocket, man.
Well-
So send it over to DaveLeBlanc@gmail.com and keep them rolling in. You gotta think we got the 12-month calendar coming up for 2021, and then we got more years after that. So as many dicks as we can get in his email inbox, get them, Bab.
The throbby, the better. Like send him like a massive veiny
And
motherfucker.
if you got the iPhone to where it does the little live picture where you can see it throb, he likes that too. Send it right over,
There'll
Bab.
be a
Do it
digital
fast.
calendar for a digital digital picture frame.
This is gonna work. This is gonna work great with all the seniors I've been booking.
Oh my god!
Now for the song inspired by Dave LeBlanc, Ocular Journey.
Living or dead, nothing is safe. Shiver and shudder while he puts you away. Digital prison for all to see. Ocular journey through history's destiny. Oh, it's taken me so long to see. What I can't be, what you can need. It's taken me so long to see. What I can't be and how you can need me. Sell you your soul for the smile on your face. Landscape is changing from leather to lace. The portrait of hatred can be erased. Nothing can change us. The lie that lies on your face. Oh, it's taken me so long to see. What I can't be, what you can need. It's taken me so long to see. What I can't be and how you can need me. A single reflex in darkness hangs in the balance. Raw noise mirroring towards unfiltered focus. With a sharpness in frame, as hues collide in unfaltering devotion. It's taken me so long to see. What I can't be, what you can need. It's taken me so long to see. What I can't be and how you can need me.
Thank you for listening to Dank Swamp Rebellion. Check us out on DSRTalks.com.